So topic for hello everyone. So this topic is important for this year's mains because on 20th of January 2024, Union Home Minister announced plans to fence the 1,643 kilometers India-Myanmar border. And with this, the free movement regime between these two countries will come to an end. So what is the free movement regime? So FMR or free movement regime was established in 2018 as a part of the India's Act East policy promoting cross-border movement up to 16 kilometers without a visa. So 2018 established korisile free movement regime, and it was as a part of the Act East policy. And কি প্ৰমোট কৰিছিলে ক্ৰছ বৰ্ডাৰ মুভমেণ্ট প্ৰমোট কৰিছিলে ইণ্ডিয়াৰ মানুহ ম্যানমাৰলৈ যাব পাৰিছিলে আৰু ম্যানমাৰৰ মানুহ ইণ্ডিয়ালৈ আহিব পাৰিছিলে আপ টু 16 কিলোমিটাৰ্ছ উইদাউট আ ভিজা চ' হোৱাট ইজ দ্য হিষ্টৰিকেল বেকগ্ৰাউণ্ড of the establishment of free movement regime. So India-Myanmar border spans 1,643 kilometers across the states of Mizoram, Manipur, Nagaland and Arunachal Pradesh. And then after the British occupation until the 1800s shaped the current India-Myanmar border. And after the Treaty of Yandabo, 1826, it defined the boundary after the British ousted the Burmese. So British okole jetia Burmese okolok khedi pothale tetia pra 1826 boundary to establish hoisile etiar jitu boundary, and it divided the people of similar ethnicity and culture without their consent. So এইটো মেইন প্ৰব্লেম হৈছিলে যে ইট ডিভাইডেড দ্য পিপল অফ চিমিলাৰ এথনিচিটি ইভেন ছেইম ফেমিলিৰ মানুহ ইপাৰ সিপাৰ হৈ গৈছিলে বৰ্ডাৰ চিমিলাৰ এথনিচিটি এণ্ড কালচাৰ উইদাউট দেয়াৰ কনচেণ্ট চ' সেইটো কাৰণে সেই প্ৰব্লেমটোৰ কাৰণে ফ্ৰী মুভমেণ্ট ৰেজিম এষ্টাব্লিছ কৰা হৈছিলে 2018 এজ এ পাৰ্ট অফ ইণ্ডিয়াছ এক্ট ইষ্ট পলিচি প্ৰমোটিং ক্ৰছ বৰ্ডাৰ মুভমেণ্ট অফ আপ টু 16 kilometers without a visa. And individuals under the FMR can cross the border with a 1-year validity border pass, and they are permitted to stay up to 2 weeks on each visit. But এতিয়া কি হৈছে এতিয়া ৰিচেণ্ট এনাউন্সমেণ্টত এই ফ্ৰী মুভমেণ্ট ৰেজিমটো স্ক্ৰেপ কৰাৰ কথা এনাউন্স কৰিছে চ' তাৰ ইমপ্লিকেশ্যনছ কি হ'ব পাৰে নেগেটিভ ইমপ্লিকেশ্যনছ then what are the factors that leads to the announcement for the scrapping of this free movement regime. So what could be the possible factors? First of all is the security concerns. Security concerns because of the unfenced border which facilitates even the extremist groups for cross-border operation, and these groups use Myanmar as a base for hit-and-run operations posing security challenges. And তাৰপিছত trigger for rethink. So next কি হ'ব পাৰে factor trigger for rethink. So instant যিটো ট্ৰিগাৰ হয় এগেইন বাকী প্ৰব্লেমছবোৰ আছিল যদিও ইমিডিয়েট ট্ৰিগাৰটো হৈছে এই মেইটি এণ্ড কুকি কমিউনিটি যে কনফ্লিক্ট যিটো হৈছিলে তাৰ সুবিধা লৈ বহুত ইনফ্লাক্স হ'ব পাৰে সেইটো এটা ইনষ্টেণ্ট ট্ৰিগাৰ হয় টু ৰিথিংক ফৰ দ্য ৰিকনচিডাৰেশ্যন অফ দ্য FMR. দেন মাইগ্ৰেশ্যন ইছ্যুটো আগৰ পৰা আছিল এই due to the civil war in the Myanmar which increased the influx of people seeking refuge in India. Then insurgent groups and camps. So the presence of insurgent groups like Alpha, NSCL, UNLF, PLA in the Kachin, Sagyang and Chin state of Myanmar hetu karneu a border to fence kora kotha bhabise. Tar bisot next hoise illegal activities. So insurgent groups take advantage of the porous borders and misuse the free movement regime, and they engage in illegal activities like smuggling drugs, then selling weapons to generate funds. So these are the factors which lead to the reconsideration of the free movement regime. Then what could be the potential disadvantages of scrapping this free movement regime? First is the trade disruption, because the FMR allows the border communities to engage in trade and commerce, which is very vital for their livelihoods, and removing it could disrupt the local economies, leading to a loss of income for the traders and businesses which relies on the cross-border trade. Then the hindrance, next disadvantage is the hindrance in the cultural and social ties, because many border communities share strong cultural and familial ties across the border. Then next concern is the security concern. The Because the free movement regime helps in maintaining a goodwill and cooperation among the border communities, which can contribute to the security, but its removal might lead to increased tensions and could potentially escalate its conflict, especially in a region which is always prone to insurgent activities. Next is the humanitarian impact. So, in times of crisis such as natural disasters or ethnic conflicts, the free movement regime allows people to seek refuge across the border. But removing this regime would prevent the timely humanitarian assistance. Then next obviously it could strain the diplomatic relations between the two countries. Then impact on indigenous rights, because indigenous communities who have historically inhabited and moved freely across the region, they might see their rights curtailed, leading to a sense of injustice and marginalization. So what could be the possible way forward? To address the potential negative impacts of removing the free movement regime in the Indo-Myanmar border, a balanced and comprehensive approach is needed. So here are some ways forward. First is to enhance the formal trade agreement and infrastructure to facilitate trade. So FMR ana pisoto jate economic loss kini minimize kobo pari. So there should be formal trade agreements jate bilateral trade to continue hoi thake border areas ot. Then next is the cultural and social exchange programs. Then enhance security cooperation. Then establish clear protocols for humanitarian access and crisis response that allow for temporary cross-border movement during emergencies. So that emergency time to কোনো problem নহয়. Then capacity building for local authorities to provide training and resources to local authorities on both the sides of the border to manage the transition effectively. যাতে FMR অনাৰ পিছত ইনষ্টেণ্টলি যিটো চেঞ্জ হ'ব বা ট্ৰানজিশ্যন হ'ব সেইটো ইফেক্টিভলি মেনেজ কৰিব পৰা হয়. So, by taking a holistic and inclusive approach, the negative impacts of removing the FMR can be mitigated, and the border communities continue this way. The border communities will continue to thrive while maintaining security and fostering positive relations between India and Myanmar. Next, the question is the Indo-Myanmar free movement regime has facilitated economic, social, and cultural exchanges between border communities. Discuss the potential negative impacts of removing the FMR. Suggest a way forward to mitigate these impacts while ensuring national security and promoting bilateral cooperation. So you can try try answering this question for 15 marks. God practice korbo pare. So ajir karone AI asile. Thank you for watching.